Why does God have to be personal? Deists believe that God is all-powerful, but distant, hidden, uninvolved in the world.
Well, yeah, deists held that, and still hold, I suppose, that there's a God who is like us, personal God. He's got, he's rational and moral and purposeful, but just not very concerned with earth. And the watchmaker God creates the universe and kind of sets up the laws by which it runs and then kind of lets it go. And that became a very popular idea during the Enlightenment, especially the 17th and 18th century. And the deists kind of had a way of reworking Christianity. Thomas Jefferson and a lot of the founding fathers were deists. They still held to the symbolism of Christianity, but they didn't really think the stories were true because it was kind of the intelligent man's religion back then to believe that, science now tells us how the universe operates, so miracles don't occur, and the idea that God became a human being and died first, that's, mythology we got to get rid of. And so Christianity teaches some good moral stuff because God did include morality in the nature of things, but is not personally involved in us. My response to that would be, I think, twofold. Number one, if God is the super example of what I am, then I would think it'd be irresponsible for me to create a civilization of people who have the kind of mind that I have, a little version of it, the kind of morality that I have, a little version of it, the kind of purpose that I have, but a little version of it, and just send them on their way without any kind of guidance or help or anything, especially if I had the power to do otherwise. When you bring a child into the world, aren't you kind of responsible for it? And if God brings us into existence, isn't there some responsibility that attaches to that, especially if this God is the super example of what we are? Sometimes what drives the deist thought is that the universe is so big and Earth is so small. I mean, we really are less than a freckle on a molecule on the tip of an iceberg that goes down forever and ever. Freckle on a molecule? What am I thinking here? Where did that come from? I don't know, but we're extremely small. And so people think, how could the big God, my dad actually asked this question, if there was a personal God, out there, why would he be concerned about us? We're just little kind of amoebas over here. But see, if God is perfect love, then it expresses that love all the more that the super, super duper big God is concerned about this little bitty speck of dust. It's more loving. He'd be less loving if he wasn't concerned with these little people. And now to become one of us, I think, is the greatest act of love at all. That God would be concerned about human beings on this little speck of dust in this little solar system, in this little galaxy, in this insignificant galaxy cluster in some remote corner of the universe. To me, that doesn't make God small. It makes God super, super unimaginably, beautifully big, that he would become concerned about us. So I think it would be irresponsible for God to put beings like us in existence and just sort of leave us in our own little misery and not ever talk to us or give us guidance or interact or anything like that. The second thing I'd say is this. I have got a lot of good other reasons for thinking that the deist God is to the extent that it says that God is uninvolved in the world, that is mistaken. Because I've got good reasons for thinking that, in fact, Jesus is the revelation of God, and we'll get to those next week. So I could work at it the other way around. Here I see some stuff that indicates to me that not only is there a personal God, but this personal God is very, very, very involved in our lives, which is exactly what I expect if, in fact, he is a personal God.